Welcome to AI Assembled, the top AI news for small business. I'm Chris Doelle, and each week I bring you the most important AI developments that can transform your business. Let's dive into this week's top stories.
OpenAI is opening a dedicated front door for small businesses. This week, the company launched its ChatGPT for Small Business program, an initiative built to help lean teams do the work of a whole back office without hiring one. The program bundles three things owners have been asking for. First, hands-on virtual training, with product-specific webinars that walk through real small business use cases across accounting, marketing, e-commerce, and operations. Second, in-person AI academies in cities across the U.S., where owners can sit down, build a workflow, and leave the room with something that actually runs. And third, a curated set of partner integrations and skills built with the tools small businesses already use: Dropbox, Shopify, Intuit, Slack, Atlassian, and Wix. The centerpiece is ChatGPT Work, an agent that can take on multi-step projects end-to-end. It connects to your files, your apps, and your calendar, and it holds memory on how you write and how you decide. Owners can send a voice note and have it turn into a Slack update pushed to multiple channels. They can ask it to scan customer reviews and draft a training deck. They can stand up a live Market Watch page that updates itself. And it all runs on GPT 5.6, which OpenAI is now making available to businesses of every size, not just enterprise. Why it matters for small businesses. For years, the state-of-the-art model tier lived behind an enterprise contract. That wall is gone. A three-person shop can now use the same underlying intelligence as a Fortune 500 team. Reference data from last year's Small Business AI Jams is worth noting. 78% of participants built a functional workflow in a single day, and 42% said they saved more than 5 hours a week. That is real time back into billable work, sales calls, or sleep. The SMB implication is clear. If you have been waiting for AI to feel less like a tech project and more like a hire, this is the moment to pilot it. Pick one workflow that eats a full afternoon every week: bookkeeping reconciliation, proposal drafting, review responses, and hand it to an agent for a month. Measure the hours saved. If the number is real, expand from there.
Anthropic quietly shipped a feature that could change who inside a business actually gets to automate their own work. It is called Record a Skill, and it lives inside the Claude Cowork desktop app. Here is how it works. You open Claude, hit the plus icon, choose Record a Skill, and then you just do your job. You screen record yourself completing a task, pulling a report, reconciling an invoice, answering a customer email, and you talk through what you are doing as you go. When you stop the recording, Claude turns that demonstration into a reusable skill it can run again on your behalf. No prompt engineering, no writing instructions, no documentation. You show it once, and it learns. This is a meaningful shift. Until now, teaching an AI to do a repeatable business task required either technical documentation or a specialist who knew how to write clean agent prompts. That skill set does not live inside most small businesses. But every small business has a bookkeeper, an operations lead, or a customer service manager who knows exactly how a task should be done. Record a Skill gives that person a way to hand their expertise to an agent directly. Availability. It is live for Pro, Max, and Team subscribers. Free tier users are excluded. The Team plan angle is the interesting one. A shared library of company-specific skills, built by the people who actually do the work, is the kind of asset that gets stickier over time. Now, a candid caveat. The reporting doesn't yet cover what happens when the underlying app changes and a replay breaks, or how the recording handles sensitive data that scrolls past on screen. Those are the questions that decide whether this becomes real infrastructure or a novelty. But for owners, the SMB takeaway is direct. If there is one task in your business that takes 30 to 60 minutes and repeats every week, that is your first candidate. Have the person who does it best record themselves once, with narration. Then run it again next week and see how close the output gets. Now, sticking with the money side of the ledger, Intuit this week launched the Intuit Business Credit Card, a world elite business MasterCard built specifically for small businesses and, more importantly, wired directly into QuickBooks. The pitch is straightforward. Open the card, and a dedicated account is automatically created inside QuickBooks. Every transaction, every receipt, every statement flows into your books in real time. Snap a photo of a receipt, and the card matches it to the corresponding transaction automatically. Month-end reconciliation, the hours of manual categorization every small business owner knows too well, largely goes away. Layered on top is Intuit's AI platform, which uses the card data plus your QuickBooks history to give forward-looking cash flow insights, not just what you spent, but what today's spending means for next month's runway. The economics. Unlimited 2% cash back on everyday purchases, 5% cash back on Intuit products and services, no annual fee, unlimited employee cards with spend controls, and a customized credit line. The card is issued by WebBank on the MasterCard network and is available now for U.S. small businesses. The SMB implication. If you already run QuickBooks, this is one of the cleaner AI plus fintech plays we have seen this year. You are effectively getting expense management, receipt capture, cash flow forecasting, and a credit line collapsed into a single tool that already sits inside your accounting workflow. Worth pricing against your current business card and expense tracking stack. If the 2% cash back and the eliminated reconciliation hours net out ahead, it may be time to switch.
Now for a shift that every local business needs to hear. Google's core algorithm updates this year are quietly rewriting the rules of local search. And the phrase to know is proximity authority. Here is what is happening. For years, local SEO, that is, search engine optimization, was a game of clever workarounds. Stuffing keywords into your Google business profile name, renting virtual addresses to appear in more cities, building thin location pages that repeated the same content with the city names swapped out. Google's 2026 crackdown is filtering all of that out. Deep learning classifiers now cross-reference your Google business profile against state business registries, licensing systems, and postal records. If your registered name is Denver Plumbing LLC, but your profile says Expert Plumbing Denver Best Emergency Plumbers, that is now an automated suspension trigger, not a ranking trick. Cellular ping data, street-level validation, and video verification confirm you actually operate where you claim. Virtual offices and residential addresses without proper setup get flagged. What replaces the old SEO playbook is proximity authority, genuine, verifiable local presence. That means your business name across Google, Yelp, Apple Maps, Bing Places, and your local Chamber of Commerce all match your legal registration. That means detailed local schema on your website with real coordinates and defined service areas. And it means content that actually reflects your community. Local case studies, sponsorships, coverage of building codes and neighborhood specifics, not templated pages with a city name pasted on top. The SMB implication is urgent. If your map pack ranking has dropped in the last 90 days, this is likely why. The fix is not another round of keyword optimization. The fix is entity alignment. Get your legal name, your addresses, and your local citations consistent. Then invest in genuinely local content. Businesses that make this shift early will lock in visibility that competitors using legacy tactics simply cannot recover. Finally, our closing story. Genspark this week unveiled AI Workspace 6.0, and the thesis behind it is worth flagging for any owner thinking about how AI actually fits into a small team. The core insight: the next AI breakthrough is not a bigger model, it is context. Or, as Genspark's CEO put it, using AI today is like collaborating with a genius who has a goldfish memory. Workspace 6.0 tries to fix that with a persistent memory layer they call Second Brain, which connects your email, meeting notes, calls, documents, and CRM into a single memory that both you and your agents can read from and write to.
There is also GenMail, an agentic email client that learns your priorities and drafts in your voice.
GenTeam, a shared workspace where people and AI agents sit in the same channels. AgentBase, which lets you spin up custom software, a CRM, a dashboard, a tracker, from a spreadsheet and a prompt without writing code. And, notably, a hardware device called Second Brain Note, a card-sized recorder that captures conversations that happen away from the keyboard, client meetings, phone calls, hallway ideas, and syncs them into your memory layer. It ships now at $179 introductory pricing. Why this matters for small businesses. A small team's biggest weakness against a larger competitor is institutional memory. Enterprises pay for it with people, systems, and process. A shared, persistent AI memory closes that gap. Every conversation captured, every decision searchable, every agent starting the task with full context. That is the leverage a 5-person shop needs to compete with a 50-person one. Zoom out on the whole week. OpenAI is lowering the entry ramp with training and partners. Anthropic is putting skill authoring in the hands of the people who actually do the work. Intuit is folding a business credit card, expense management, and cash flow AI into the accounting tool you already open every morning. Google is telling every local business to trade tricks for real presence. And Genspark is arguing that the winning move is not a better prompt. It is giving AI everything it needs to remember. The through line for owners is simple. The tools have grown up. This is the quarter to stop experimenting and start integrating.
That's it for this week's AI Assembled, the top AI news for small business. If you found this valuable, share it with a fellow business owner. And if you want to know whether AI tools can find and recommend your business, get your free AI website optimization report at freshmediaworks.com/AI ready. Until next week, keep innovating and keep it real.